Imagine being just 17 years old and stepping into a world dominated by adults.
The Nuke!
Where every move is scrutinized, every mistake amplified. Most teenagers are worried about homework or weekend plans, but Luke Littler, he's worried about hitting double tops in front of roaring crowds. Luke didn't just stumble into darts, he stormed into it. A young boy from Cheshire with nothing more than raw talent, unrelenting drive, and a board in his home. By the time he was a teenager, he wasn't just playing the game, he was rewriting its rules. The nickname, the Nuke, isn't just a catchy moniker, it's a statement. It's a promise that whenever this kid steps up to the oche, bringing firepower that even seasoned professionals have to respect. But who is Luke Littler beyond the nickname and the accolades? How did this young boy, who many would overlook due to his age, become one of the most talked about players in darts today? And what sacrifices did he and his family make along the way? Luke Littler's story begins in the quiet town of Runcorn, Cheshire, a place where the biggest dreams often stay just that, dreams. But for Luke, something was different. He had a spark, even as a young boy. The kind of spark that doesn't just flicker, it ignites. Growing up, Luke's first introduction to darts wasn't in a bustling pub or a glitzy tournament. It was in his own home, standing on a step stool, trying to reach the dartboard his dad had hung on the wall. For the Littler family, darts was more than a pastime, it was tradition. His parents played casually, and weekends often saw the family gathered around, cheering for their favorite players on TV. But no one could have predicted that this hobby would transform Luke's life. By the time he was 10, Luke wasn't just throwing darts, he was living for them. Hours of practice turned into muscle memory. His focus was sharp, his determination unmatched. While other kids were playing video games or kicking a football around, Luke was perfecting his stance, his throw, and his precision. It wasn't long before his parents noticed that their son had something special. His first competitions were local affairs, small town events where everyone knew each other's name. But Luke stood out immediately. He wasn't just winning, he was dominating. Opponents twice his age left the oche shaking their heads, wondering how a kid could be that good. But for Luke, it wasn't about showing off. It was about the love of the game. He didn't care about the trophies, the recognition, or the applause. All he cared about was the challenge. And in those early years, with his family by his side, Luke Littler quietly started laying the foundation for what would become a career beyond anyone's wildest dreams. By the time Luke Littler hit his teenage years, the word prodigy was already being whispered in dart circles. His talent was undeniable, his precision almost surgical. But what truly set him apart wasn't just his skill, it was his fearlessness. Luke wasn't intimidated by the lights, the cameras, or the seasoned pros standing across from him. If anything, he thrived on it. At just 13, Luke began competing in regional tournaments, facing opponents who had decades of experience. Most players in his shoes might have crumbled under the pressure, but Luke didn't just hold his own, he excelled. One moment, he was a schoolboy playing darts in his living room. The next, he was stepping onto stages that most players only dream of. Then came his breakout moment. In 2022, at just 14 years old, Luke Littler shattered expectations by becoming the youngest ever winner of a major darts championship. The crowd didn't see a boy, they saw a competitor, a force to be reckoned with. Commentators struggled to find words to describe what they were witnessing. Seasoned players were in awe. How could someone so young play with such maturity, such composure? Luke wasn't just beating his opponents, he was making a statement. His nickname, the Nuke, suddenly felt more fitting than ever. Every dart he threw seemed to land with explosive impact, and every victory pushed him further into the spotlight. But with fame came new challenges. The pressure to perform, the weight of expectations, and the scrutiny of being a teenage phenom weren't easy to carry. Yet Luke handled it all with the same poise he showed at the oche. For him, darts wasn't about fame or accolades, it was about the love of the game, and it was that pure passion that made him stand out. As the wins piled up, so did the attention. Fans adored him, the media couldn't get enough of him, and his opponents knew they had to bring their best game whenever they faced him. Luke Littler wasn't just a rising star, he was becoming the face of a new generation of darts. Away from the bright lights of tournaments and the pressure of competition, Luke Littler is, at his core, just a teenager. And that's perhaps what makes his story even more remarkable. While many young athletes get caught up in the whirlwind of fame, Luke has managed to stay grounded, holding on to the simple joys of life. When he's not throwing darts, you might find Luke doing things every other teenager does, spending time with friends, scrolling through social media, or playing video games. But even in his downtime, darts is never far from his mind. His dedication to the sport is woven into his daily life, from analysing matches to refining his technique in practice sessions. What makes Luke truly stand out though is his humility. For someone who's achieved so much at such a young age, he remains refreshingly modest. He doesn't seek the spotlight, he lets his darts do the talking. Interviews reveal a young man who's polite, focused, and always quick to credit his family, coaches, and supporters for his success. Luke's personality is a mix of quiet confidence and youthful exuberance. He approaches the game with a seriousness that belies his age, yet there's an undeniable spark of joy in everything he does. Whether it's a cheeky grin after hitting a perfect shot or the way he interacts with fans, Luke's enthusiasm is contagious. He has the rare ability to connect with people, whether they're seasoned darts veterans or young fans just discovering the sport. Despite his rising fame, Luke hasn't lost sight of what matters most: family, hard work, and his love for the game. His grounded nature has endeared him to fans and players alike, making him not just a champion on the oche, but a role model off it. Behind every great player is a team of unwavering supporters, and for Luke Littler, that team begins at home. His family has been the cornerstone of his success, standing by his side every step of the way. From the early days of playing darts in the living room to his first competitions, Luke's parents have been his biggest fans and fiercest advocates. Luke often speaks about how his dad was the first to recognise his potential.
Who got you the ball? Who got you your first dart ball?
Well, I don't remember it, but my dad said we're in the pound shop and I was in the trolley and I just picked the magnetic dartboard out, and I still think it was to it this day. Imagine if we didn't pick up that magnetic dartboard.
That's amazing. That's like a moment in the movie, like when...
What started as casual games at home quickly became hours of practice, with his dad coaching him on technique and strategy. His mum, meanwhile, has been a steady source of encouragement, ensuring that Luke stays balanced between the demands of being a rising dart star and a regular teenager. But family support goes beyond the technical aspects of the game. They've kept Luke grounded, reminding him to enjoy the journey and not get overwhelmed by the pressure of expectations. Whether it's celebrating his victories or helping him process tough losses, the Littler family has been his emotional anchor through it all. Luke's relationships extend beyond his immediate family. His coaches and mentors have played a crucial role in shaping his career. These are the people who've seen his raw talent and helped polish it into the precision and composure he's known for today. Luke has often expressed gratitude for the guidance he's received, acknowledging that his success is a team effort. Then there's his connection with the fans. Despite his young age, Luke has built a loyal following. He takes the time to interact with supporters, whether it's signing autographs, taking photos, or simply sharing a smile after a match. It's this relatability that has endeared him to so many, making him not just a darts prodigy, but a player people genuinely root for. Luke Littler's journey so far is a testament to the power of relationships. With his family, mentors, and fans rallying behind him, he's not just competing in the game of darts, he's thriving in it. Luke Littler isn't just a rising star in darts, he's become a symbol of what's possible when talent meets dedication at an early age. In a sport traditionally dominated by seasoned veterans, Luke's meteoric rise has injected a surge of excitement and optimism into the darts community. His presence on the stage has redefined expectations and challenged conventional norms about who can excel at the highest levels. For many young players, Luke is living proof that age is no barrier to success. He's inspired a wave of junior players to pick up their darts and aim higher, motivated by the knowledge that if he can do it, so can they. Youth leagues have reported increased interest, and the Luke Littler effect is becoming a topic of discussion in the darts world. He's not just competing, he's creating a legacy that will bring more young talent into the sport for years to come.
Impact you're having not just in darts in the UK, but across the world, and not just in darts, in sport across the world.
Yeah, it goes show what I've done for myself, but also for the sport itself. Seeing the young kids come through, like I said, in the family section when we come off stage for a break, just to see so many mums, dads with their kids with my tops on throughout the tournament was really good to see.
But it's not just about inspiring youth. Luke's success has also sparked a renewed energy among fans and professionals alike. Seasoned players who face him on the oche often comment on how refreshing it is to see such raw talent and unshakable composure from someone so young. His matches are a spectacle, drawing larger audiences and creating moments that people talk about long after the final dart is thrown. Luke's ability to bridge the gap between generations has been pivotal. He's brought a youthful vibrance to the game while respecting its traditions, earning the admiration of older fans who value the sport's history. At the same time, his charisma and fearless playing style have captured the attention of a new, younger audience, ensuring that darts continues to grow in popularity. Perhaps most importantly, Luke Littler represents the future of darts. He's proof that the sport is evolving, embracing younger talent and welcoming fresh faces to the stage. His impact isn't just measured in wins and records, it's felt in the way he's reshaping the game and inspiring the next wave of players to dream bigger. At just 17, Luke Littler cemented his place in darts history by becoming the youngest ever PDC World Champion, facing three-time champion Michael van Gerwen in a highly anticipated final. Littler delivered a masterclass, dominating the match 7-3 and silencing any doubts about his capabilities on the sport's biggest stage. From the moment he stepped onto the oche at Alexandra Palace, Littler exuded confidence. By the fourth set, he was 4-0 up, having dropped only 3 legs with a relentless scoring pace and pinpoint precision that left van Gerwen visibly shaken. Averaging over 100 in most legs, Littler's performance was as commanding as it was historic. As the crowd erupted in a rendition of Robbie Williams' Angels, Littler hoisted the trophy, the magnitude of his achievement sinking in.
To realise his dream, to achieve his destiny, to be world champ. The button has been passed. This generation's special talent beats the great Michael van Gerwen. Luke the Nuke Littler, the teenager, is champion of the world.
His victory wasn't just about breaking records, it was a moment that inspired fans, redefined the sport, and showcased the arrival of darts' next great champion. Beyond titles and trophies, Luke has aspirations that go beyond personal success. He's expressed a desire to give back to the sport that's given him so much. Whether it's mentoring younger players, promoting darts in schools, or participating in initiatives to grow the game globally, Luke sees himself as more than just a competitor. He wants to be a leader in shaping the future of darts. There's also a sense of curiosity about how Luke will continue to evolve as a player. Will he redefine the way young talent is developed in darts? Could he become a pioneer in bringing new techniques or strategies to the sport? Whatever the answers, one thing is certain. Luke Littler isn't just thinking about the next match. He's thinking about the legacy he wants to leave behind. As fans and players alike watch his journey unfold, the question isn't just what Luke Littler will achieve, it's how much he'll transform the sport along the way.